All right, ladies and gentlemen, so in this video, what I want to do is talk about the options for retirement that we currently know. I want to also give personal stories on my life and my wife's life, my family's life, basically, to give you a realistic picture on why eXp has become something of such great interest to myself and our family. And to also to the families that we're helping out, because this will give you a great insight onto this whole decision that I've made to move over to eXp. So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit. This is going to be a little bit longer video than normal, but I think it's going to help a lot of people understand where Joseph is coming from and why eXp is so important. So my wife and I at this point, at the age of 37, have saved a total of $1.3 million, which you'll see here. That's after taxes. That's for our retirement. So we have that. We're investing that. And then if we took a 4% draw, which is what most people say you should be doing, most financial advisors, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. If you want to reach out to one to ask some questions, please do. But at a 4% distribution or withdrawal rate, we get about $52,000 per year from that. Great income, but it took 10 years to do this. It took no mortgage. It took living abroad and all of our expenses, just about all of our expenses being covered, except for food and eating out and things like that. So the majority of people will not be able to accomplish this in 10 years. You, watching this video, will probably not be able to accomplish this in 10 years. Very few people will, because most people actually live paycheck to paycheck or barely enough to cover their bills. And so I want to break this down even further. So let's say you're somebody that is like, okay, I'm going to be a great saver. I'm going to make $100,000 a year. Let's work through this actual problem. And so, again, this is retirement plan number one. So we could probably live off $52,000 a year, but it took us 10 years to build that, again, living overseas, so forth and so on. If you, as an agent, wanted to save $1 million, right? So we're going to say $1 million right here after taxes for your retirement with a 4% distribution rate or withdrawal rate, you're going to look at $40,000 per year, or let's call that, roughly $40,000 per year, right? Can you live off of that? I don't know if you can or not. But what I do know is it would be nice to have passive income coming in. But let's break this down a little bit further for you as a real estate agent. So let's look at this a little bit tighter here. So in order to do that, to save that $1 million that we're talking about, you making $100,000 a year, if you're making $200,000 a year, you can break the math out, just obviously extrapolate the numbers to match what you're currently doing. So let's say right now you make $100,000 per year, right? You got to pay Uncle Sam his 0.28%. Let's call it roughly 30%, right? Or 0.28. Let's call it 28% or 30%. So now you're actually taking home $72,000. So even though you made $100,000, you're taking home $72,000. Your expenses, roughly, are about $4,000 per month, right? Some people are more, some are less, depending if you're married, kids, so forth and so on. So now you got to take away $48,000. All you have left to invest is $24,000. At that rate, as a real estate professional, it's going to take you, zoom in, 41 years to retire from real estate. And so there's this big joke that goes around our industry that is, real estate agents don't ever retire, they usually die, right? And so you have to start asking yourself these questions. And I started asking myself these questions about all the real estate agents that I've helped, thousands of agents. Do they even know this? Like, do they actually know the math? And most of them have no clue because none of them are planned to retire. And so this is retirement plan number one as a real estate agent. What I'm going to do in the next video is actually show you a possible retirement plan utilizing eXp's model and not letting the model use you. Okay, so we took the time to look at what a normal person would try to do, or a normal real estate agent would try to do if they're trying to retire, and how long it would take for them to save $1 million tax-free, 41 years. That's this right here, $1 million, 41 years. Now, what I want you to think about is, what if there's a way to do it different? There is a way to do it different. So this is the possible eXp retirement plan if you consider doing this. And it's quite interesting to look at this whole thing and compare, right? So we were looking at a possible $40,000 per year is what we're looking at, right? By saving $1 million and a 4% withdrawal rate. Well, with eXp, the way this works, we know, based on the previous videos, essentially any capping agent that you bring over is worth about $2,800 to you, right? We know the 80-20 split, so forth and so on. Now, let's say you bring over 7 people. That's these 7 people here over to eXp over either a year, 2 years, 5 years, however long it takes you to do it. Regardless, it's going to be passive, quote unquote, passive income coming in. So you bring these 7 agents over. These 7 agents times $2,800 is a total of $19,600 to you. That's just level 1. Now, let's say these agents are just over the next several years just talking about eXp, and eXp, as you know, is growing exponentially at the moment. And they just happen to have conversations with other agents and other agents. Each of them just brings over 1 more agent, right? They're all just bringing 1 more agent. So now you're getting about a total of 14 agents. So tier 1 is worth $2,800 to you. I didn't tell you this in the previous video, but tier 2 is actually worth $3,200 to you for each capping agent that you bring over. So then you multiply 7 times 3,200, which we have here, and you get $22,400. You add these 2 numbers together, and you get $42,000. So that math, as I looked at it, it really clicked for me because I was going, I worked 10 years to build $1.3 million with my spouse, living abroad, overseas, most of our expenses covered, to save that money, to save $1.3 million. And hard work, late nights, early mornings, with kids. Most agents will not be able to do that. They'll have to do it in 41 years. 41 years. And that's depending on when they start and what age they're going to be whenever they get there. So take 41, add it to your current age. Or you go out and you attract 7 agents, and those 7 agents attract 7 more agents, and now you're at $42,000 per year of quote-unquote passive income for these capping agents. And that doesn't include your real estate money that you're making. I think that's a big part that a lot of people miss whenever they're explaining this model. And so I want you to really think about that. Which one is harder for you to accomplish? And if you want somebody to help you do this the right way, I want to be that person. My team wants to be that group of people that do that for you. And so I hope this sheds some light on why I'm doing this and why I've already brought over in the first month 10 agents that are capping agents, and 20 more are committed. Because we're doing this the right way and nobody else is doing it the way we're doing it. And not saying anybody's doing it wrong, we're just doing things differently. So if this makes sense for you, please feel free to reach out. If you want to work for 41 more years selling real estate from the current age that you are right now, which most of you will be 20 plus, so that means you'll be 60 plus, and you'll have to save, be a diligent saver to get to $1 million to have $42,000 of passive income, please go do that. But if you want to do something differently and you want to help other people within the model and use the model and not let the model use you, please reach out. I thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to helping you, and I look forward to serving you. Talk to you soon.